We are one step closer to getting this planter out in the field. I checked everything in the last video. We finished everything up, getting this thing ready. At this point, it's pretty much just grease everything. The center of the clevis, or clevis, whatever you want to call it, for the hitch there is supposed to be 15 inches when it's lowered. That's right on. Now that's at a little bit of an angle. This is really close to being level. I mean, it's very close. So I'm not going to touch anything. And obviously we have to, I'm really hoping that the population settings that we went with, which we went by the book, so hopefully that should be right. Again, I have no idea what the previous person was planting. I have no idea. The other thing is obviously we're gonna probably have to check out in the field our downforce and also the seed depth, because those are all, a couple of them wheels are set differently. Anyway, the task at hand today is get the fields prepped, get them ready. So we don't have a lot of time, but basically I want to be able to jump in the field tomorrow and start planting and not have to do this tomorrow, because tomorrow they want some decent weather. So hopefully we can just get out in the field and we don't have to worry about anything. So I'm gonna raise the planter back up. We'll put this stand down, unhook all this, and then we're gonna hook up the drag harrow. And we recently had, Dad actually recently had a flagpole fall down, so he threw it out. I ended up putting together two sections here. And what I'm gonna do, I don't know how well it's gonna work. I'm gonna fill this with dirt. Just fill it full, tape both ends as best I can, maybe shove a rag or something in each end, tape it shut, and then I have some wire. It's actually like for clothesline, I guess. And we'll tie this to the back of the drag harrow, because the drag harrow is gonna leave ridges behind it. So I'm hoping with this being a little bit weighted down, it'll smooth everything right behind us, level everything off. That's the plan, that's the goal. Hopefully that works out. We'll just take this up here to the garden and shove it full of dirt. So it's full of dirt. I gotta tape the joint. Again, the tape could really wear off pretty quick just because of the simple fact it's gonna be rubbing against the dirt. So I don't know how well that's gonna work out for us, but I packed it in there on the ends especially. So the one side, you can't even get it out, but I'm sure it'll eventually dry out. I don't know, we'll see. But it actually added some weight, so it should work. There it is. Now we'll unhook the corn planter, get out in the field and see if it works. Now, I gotta figure out how to transport this all the way up there. This should work. Here is the drag harrow. So what I'm thinking is this will sit back here, and this is the perfect length too, believe it or not. It is literally perfect. Now, the only thing is how far back you keep it. It could really sway, but ultimately it should track right behind it. So we could roll it in just a touch closer, like something like that. And then we'll take our wire and attach it. Something like this. Well, here goes nothing. Well, obviously I just put these down, but judging by just the little path that it made already, I don't know, this might work. I'm thinking if this were a 3-inch PVC pipe filled with dirt, it would probably do it. Now, it's definitely not as bad as it would be if, for instance, this was just like you didn't have that on there. The other thing is there's a lot of areas that aren't level. So like there's kind of a hole here in the center. But you go back through here, again, kind of shallow or deep here in the center, you can see what it's doing over here. It's leveling it off. So I don't know. We do have means of another type of drag that I know for a fact would level this all off. And maybe that's what we might do, but I think this will work pretty well. It just, obviously it's not perfectly level, so that's part of the problem. Right here is a perfect example that it does work. You can see lines right here, but it's hollow underneath, so it's not perfectly flat. But you go back here where it pretty much was for that little bit, it did really, really well. You can just barely see the lines, hardly at all, but right there, right here, that really worked nice there. So it all depends how the dirt is laid out. And I think it's working actually, you know, pretty nice versus if you just let these do their own thing. You're gonna have ridges all over the place. Now, as long as this doesn't rip off, we'll be in really good shape. But I don't even know why this really happened all of a sudden. It clogged up. So as long as this doesn't rip off the back, look at how nice of a job that's doing. You don't even see any lines in here. I mean, this is doing really well. The planter will run through this so nice. Let's hope that it stays on there and doesn't rip the wire off with all that dirt bunch behind it, because that's going to add some weight and want to push. So it's very possible it could rip off. And maybe what we should do is just go a touch shallower on the tines and see what that does. Oh, sorry. Let me just say how impressed I am with this makeshift, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's starting to come apart. It doesn't look like it. It might be stretching some because it's a little bit off. But let me just say how impressed I am with how well this actually did. This got amazing. I could not be happier. I was a little skeptical on it. I wasn't sure how well it was going to hold up. There was a couple times coming down this way that it was really dragging dirt. And like you can see here just how well it leveled everything off. Now, I'm not too worried about, you know, a little bit of ridges here and there because the planter does have some fingers in the front before the shoes even come through. So not a huge deal with that. But again, just look at how well this did. Especially like right here. That is just, I am super impressed. Extremely happy with how that turned out. Now this is the nicest field we have so far because we really didn't have sod up here to deal with. The next field, however, we kind of did, so I'm not sure how well that's gonna go and work out. But we're gonna try it and see because I would like to plant up here tomorrow and down in this little field, which is just past these trees. And then up at Mom and Dad's, that little kind of maybe 0.8 or 3/4 of an acre to an acre. I want to plant that, and that has a lot of sod and stuff in it yet. I've dissed it numerous times, so we'll see if we can smooth it out enough to where I'm confident it'll plant nice. Just looks so nice. So nice. Love the dirt. It'll be even nicer seeing corn rows come up through all this. Well, this field, not the greatest because we still are left with this. And I don't know, it just, the disc obviously chopped it up, but you're still left with a bunch of this stuff. So I don't know, I may still try and plant it because the shoes are obviously going to shove this stuff out of the way. The fingers in the front are kind of going to pull it or push it out of the way. And especially once you get back in there, it's a lot better. Down in there is a little bit wet, so we might try and stay away from that. But again, there's definitely a lot of chunks yet. Which, in saying that, the next field we're going to go to up by Mom and Dad's is exactly the same way. But we ran the disc through that, I feel like, more times than this. Or maybe it's the same, I don't know. We'll go see what that looks like. And there it went. It finally decided to let loose. But I will say that lasted a very, very long time until it even did that. No need to worry, I will reattach. Part of the problem up here is it is just so rocky. This is like the rockiest field on the farm. It's probably more rocks than dirt almost. It's pretty bad. Back in business. That's it, we're done. Same thing with this field. Little chunky, but this is about the size of it. Some of them might be a hair bigger, but the majority of the chunks aren't very big. There's not a lot of dirt in there anymore. So the thing is, it's been raining so much, none of this really died. But overall, not terrible. This didn't level out as good as I was hoping, but again, we have those sweeps in front, so it'll kind of help with that as the shoes come forward and the runners and then drop the seed. So the next time, you guys are going to witness planting, and I am very excited. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, since we got the 4-row planter. So hopefully everything works out with that. Hopefully the population is what we want. According to the book, it should be. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. The fields, at least 3 of them, are prepped, ready to be planted. The rest of them, probably a little bit on the wet side from all the rain. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.